So are you also extracting the details from salary slips manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use an AI agent for effortless salary slip data extraction in payroll automation. So over here I'm an HR manager of a company, and we used to regularly extract the details from the salary slips and enter in Google Sheets manually. But this is such a tedious and a time-consuming task, right? So to solve this problem, I've simply created this automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I'm going to add my salary slip in my Google Drive account, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to extract the details from that salary slip, and then further we can add that details into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this automation for your own organization? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to set up an AI agent to automatically extract important details from salary slips and store them into Google Sheets. So whether you are managing payroll for a few employees or an entire organization, this automation helps you to collect important data like employee name, designation, month, basic pay, and the salary reductions accurately without any manual efforts. So it makes payroll processing more smooth, fast, and error-free. So to get started, we have to open a new tab, and we are going to search for pabbly.com/connect right over here to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect. So I'm just going to search for pabbly.com/connect right over here. And yes, now you can see that I've successfully opened the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And over here, we are going to get two options. One is sign in, and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we are going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we are going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here, I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to use an AI agent for effortless salary slip data extraction in payroll automation. And then we are simply going to click on this button right over here which says create. And as soon as we are going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this, you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm just going to select it as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive right over here, and as you can see, Google Drive, so we are simply going to select it. So I selected my trigger application as Google Drive, because over here in this Google Drive folder, I'm just going to upload all the salary slips of my employees, and that's the reason that I selected my action application as Google Drive. And now we are going to move on forward. It is asking me for the trigger event. So basically, trigger event is the event on which the workflow is going to run. So for my trigger event, what I'm going to select it as is new file in a specific folder, because what I want is that as soon as a new file is added in this specific folder, then this workflow should get triggered. And now after selecting this trigger event, I'm simply going to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. Pabbly is going to ask me to select my Gmail account. So over here, I'm just going to select that Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Drive account. And now after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow. Pabbly is safe, and as soon as we are going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the folder or subfolder for which I want to create this automation for. So as you can see, the name of my folder is salary slip extractor. So over here, I'm just going to select the same, which is salary slip extractor. So I'm just going to search for same, which is salary slip extractor uploads. And now we simply have to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on the save and send test request, I'll just let you know that you have to keep in mind that the folder which you are selecting right over here should be a shareable one. So here what you have to do is you have to open the folder, and you have to keep in mind that the access for this folder should be anyone with the link and editor only, because otherwise this workflow is not going to run successfully. So you have to keep in mind that this folder should be shareable one, which is anyone with the link and editor. I have already made this a shareable one, alright. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. But before clicking on this save and send test request, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that these applications do not check for new data instantly. They take some amount of time to check for new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying that it is going to check for new data in 10 minutes. So now as soon as I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response made in my Google Drive account. So before clicking on this save and send test request, we first have to do the test submission. And to do this, I'm just going to open my Google Drive account, and I'm just going to upload a salary slip in this folder. So I'm just going to go towards this new and then file upload. And over here, I'm just going to upload a salary slip in this folder to start with this automation. Alright, so I'm just going to upload this salary slip, which is of Amit Kumar. So I'm just going to upload this salary slip, and yes, over here you can see that I've successfully uploaded this salary slip right over here. I'm just going to show you. So as you can see, this is the salary slip which I have uploaded. Now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request button after doing the test submission. And now Pabbly has captured the response of the same salary slip which we uploaded. You can see all the details over here. You can see the same file. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now what is going to happen is that as soon as I upload a new file in this specific folder, automatically within 10 minutes this workflow is going to get triggered. And if you want to reduce or increase this trigger time, you can go towards this three dots and then set trigger time. And from here you can reduce or increase this trigger time. I am just going to keep it as 10 minutes only. Now we are going to move on forward. What I want is I want to use an AI agent for effortless salary slip extraction. So what we're going to do is for our action application, I am just going to select it as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as extract content from PDF/image. So I'm just going to simply select it as this, and now we are going to click on this connect. And as soon as we are going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow this help text, and it is saying OpenAI uses API key for authentication. Kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. Alright, so I have to go towards this OpenAI API key page, and to go towards this OpenAI API key page, I'm simply going to click on this hyperlink which we have got right over here. And now after opening this OpenAI API key page, I'm just going to create a new secret key. So for that, I'm just going to go towards this create new secret key, and now it is asking me for the name of the key. So over here, I'm just going to name my key as AI agent. So as you can see that I've successfully named my key, and now I'm just going to select the project and then click on this create secret key button given right over here. And now over here you can see that I've successfully created this key, so I'm simply going to copy it and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And now after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the OpenAI model. So over here, I'm just going to select it as GPT-4o Mini. If you wish, you can definitely select the better one. Now we're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the image/PDF URL. So over here, we are going to enter the PDF URL of the salary slip, which we uploaded in our Google Drive account. But we are not going to copy paste the PDF URL, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly, which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm just going to map this PDF URL. For that, I'm just going to open the response of my Google Drive. And over here, you can see that we have to map this web content link. So you have to keep in mind that you only have to map this web content link. This is very important that you don't map any another link right over here. And after mapping this PDF URL, we are going to move on further. It is asking me for the prompt. So over here, I'm just going to keep the prompt as this, which is I want to extract the details from the given file. So yes, over here I'm just going to keep the prompt as this much only, because I'm just going to extract the details with the help of structured output. So over here we have to enter a structured output JSON object, and to get this we are following this important note. So it is saying to generate the structured output JSON, navigate to this URL, click on generate, enter the prompt, paste the structured output objective generated right over here. Alright, so we just first have to go towards this URL given right over here. And over here we have to enter the prompt in order to generate a structured output. And in order to generate the structured output or the JSON schema, we have to enter a prompt. It is saying describe how do you want the model to respond, and we'll generate a JSON schema. And to do this, I'm just going to open my notepad, and now I'm just going to enter the details right over here which I want to extract from from the salary slip. So the first detail is employee name. So I'm just going to enter employee name right over here. And now we're going to move on towards the next line. And over here we have to enter the type of the format in which I want the employee name. So it is in text format. So I'm just going to keep it as type of text right over here. If it would have been in number format, then I would have entered type of a number. Alright, so this is a text. So I'm just going to enter type of text. And now I'm just going to move on towards the next line and give a little description about what I want to extract. So I'm just going to give the description as give me the name of the employee mentioned in the salary slip. Alright, so now after entering this employee name, we are going to move on further and enter the rest of the details which I want to extract from my salary slip. Let's say the next detail is the month. So I'm just going to enter month right over here. And now I'm just going to keep it as type of date because this is a date, right? So I'm just going to keep it as type of date. And now I'm just going to give the description right over here as what is the salary month and the year mentioned in the slip. So we have to get that. All right, now we're going to move on further towards the next. Like this only, I'm just going to extract all the details which I have right over here in my salary slip, like the employee code and the details of deductions too. So I'm just going to open my notepad and over here I'm just going to enter everything which I want to extract. So over here you can see everything which I want to extract, which is employee name, employee code, designation, month, basic pay, HRA, special allowance, provident fund, professional tax, gross earnings, total deduction and net salary. So here you can see that I've entered type of text, type of date, and for the ones which wanted type of currency, I've entered type of currency too. So yes, you can see that I've successfully entered this. So now after entering all of these details right over here, I'm just going to copy these details and now I'm just going to open my OpenAI and I'm just going to paste it right over here to generate the JSON schema. For that, we simply have to click on this create, and as soon as we are going to click on this create, automatically my OpenAI is going to generate me the JSON schema. And yes, over here you can see that it has successfully generated me the JSON schema. So I'm simply going to copy this and then we are simply going to paste it right over here in the structured output field. And now after pasting this structured output right over here, we simply have to click on this save and send test request, and as soon as we are going to click on this save and send test request, my AI agent is going to extract the details from that salary slip and give me the response for the same, so that we can further add that details into our Google Sheets. And yes, over here you can see that my AI agent has given me the response. You can see the employee name. It has also given me the employee code, the designation, salary, month, basic pay, and the rest of the details. And now I'm just going to add all of these details right over here in my spreadsheet. And to add that details into my spreadsheet, I'm just going to add another action step right over here. And now for my action application, I am just going to select it as Google Sheets. And then for the action event, we simply have to select it as add a new row. And now we are simply going to click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button once again which says sign in with Google. And as soon as we are going to click on this blue button once again, I'm just going to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google Sheets. Once again, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we are going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet and the sheet. So over here you can see the name of my spreadsheet is payroll summary. So we are going to select the same, which is payroll summary. And then for the sheet, we have to select it as sheet 1. So I'm just going to do the same. Now we're going to move on further. Over here you can see that it is asking me for all of these details which we have in the columns of our Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to map all of these details one by one to add them into our Google Sheets. And to do this, we are simply going to open the response of OpenAI, map the details like this one by one. I'm just going to map the employee name, employee code, then we're going to map the designation. We are going to move on further. We are going to map the month right over here, then we're going to move on further. We are going to map the basic pay. I'm just going to map the rest of the details like this only. You have to keep in mind that you also have to map the details from the response of your OpenAI. Over here, I'm just going to map the professional tax, the gross earnings, and then total deductions right over here, and then the net salary. So yes, with this, we have successfully mapped all of these details. And now I'm just simply going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to do so, yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully added all of these details into our Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to open my Google Sheets, and yes, over here you can see all the details added. You can see the employee name, the employee code, the designation, month, and the rest of the details. Over here you can match that these details are exactly the same details which we had right over here in our salary slip. You can check the employee code right over here. You can check the total deductions and the net salary too. So yes, you can see that Pabbly Connect has successfully added the details into our Google Sheets. And yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is that as soon as I add a new file in a specific folder in my Google Drive account, which is this folder, within 10 minutes Pabbly is going to capture the response and trigger the workflow. And further, it is going to extract the content from the PDF which we have added, which is the salary slip, and add the details of the same into our Google Sheets. So yes, with this we have successfully built an AI agent to extract the details from the salary slip. And now we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. This workflow is going to run in backend. And now if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. So go and try this automation for your own business too. And see you in the next video with many more automation tips. Thank you for watching, everyone.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.